Hello and welcome to our Saturdays with Tara Hangout on Air. I'm Mary Beth at the Law of Attraction Club on the web at theloaclub.com. These Hangouts on Air are an introduction to our theme for the week. Robin usually does Saturday, Rachel does Thursday, and I do Tuesday calls. There'll be a link on your screen for our subscription page if you'd like to get invites to our free guest member calls, which we offer about once a month or so. So we welcome you to this call, and we welcome Robin and Tara. Over to you.
Welcome. You're here to change things. If you think you're not, then that's because you've forgotten who you are and why you came here. We are here to bring our perspective, to help by describing how things look from where we sit. And so here we are in this clearing in the forest, in this intersection of souls, swapping ideas and exploring new territory. As always, we are here because you have attracted us. We are a match to your vibrational set point. You are here because you are a match to us. We are in each other's experience because we are resonating together. Over these last few weeks, we've been focusing strongly on processes you can use, on powerful techniques that can help you change some of your old thinking habits and reprogram that autopilot mind of yours. And this week, when we recalled Commandment number 4, thou shalt not beat up on thyself, it was Rachel who suggested that now might be an excellent time to revisit our own version of the 10 Commandments. Of course, we are being a bit tongue-in-cheek, a bit light-hearted with all of this. And yet we are also literally telling it as it is. And so at the same time, we are being deadly serious. The 10 Commandments, of course, come from the Judeo tradition. And if that is your chosen path, and if those original commandments as written are something you hold as sacred rules, and if you are among those following that path with love and joy, then we say that is a wonderful choice for you, and we applaud you for it. We'd also say that as you follow that path with love and joy, you will find yourself rising above the need for rules. As you enter a state of grace, the dogma will fall away. You will not be following any set of commandments because you will be rejoicing in alignment with what you know as God. And in that place, you will know that there is no institution or person that can tell you what you should or should not do. You and God will sort it out. If that's not your chosen path, or if you're struggling on that path to find love and joy, then we submit that there is no right or wrong way to live your life. And we offer you our perspective. We see you as an essence of conscious light. We see you as we know ourselves to be, as an always connected extension of Source, or all that is. We see that many of you have become so involved in your game of life on earth that you have forgotten that you are God in every sense of the word. We agree that you and God will sort it out, but our words for that would be relaxing into knowing who you are and relearning to trust your feelings as they guide you into alignment with that greater part of you. So here we go. Let's start here. In this place where you are making the rules. There can, of course, be no commandments. There are no shoulds, no must-dos, no supposed-to-dos. And even if there were, in each new moment, you're always at choice. And therefore, there's nothing that can be chiseled into stone tablets. But to have a little fun, let's give you this law of attraction version of the 10 Commandments as a new way of talking about what we call the absolutes, those things that are the unchangeable essence of who you are, plus a few rules or guidelines to follow if you want to change some of the things that are non-absolute. And there will always be some of those. Here we go. The 10 Commandments. Number 1, thou shalt know who thou art. Number 2, thou shalt remember thy thoughts create heaven and earth. Number 3, thou shalt remember to choose new things. Number 4, thou shalt not beat up on thyself. Number 5, thou shalt practice self-firstness. Number 6, thou shalt choose always to feel good. Number 7, thou shalt dream things into existence and know thy dream for what it is. Number 8, thou shalt dance joyfully with the others in your dream. Number 9, thou shalt remember that all is well, and good and bad are human judgments. Number 10, thou shalt remember who thou art. So now let's talk of these in a little more detail. Number 1, thou shalt know who thou art. It all starts here. It starts with setting yourself straight on who you are and what you're doing here. You're not a physical space-time creature having occasional non-physical experiences. At your essence, you're a timeless, spaceless consciousness, an always connected part of the universal consciousness that some call God or all that is. You were born out of your own desire, and with each new belief choice you make, you step into a new version of you. And yet through all those steps and experiences, you are and will always be an extension of all that is. We want you to get that. We want you to get the enormity of who you are. 2, thou shalt remember thy thoughts create heaven and earth. By what you call the law of attraction, the context that always surrounds you, for example, the illusion you think of as the physical world, is always a match to you. And so as you make new belief choices and you step into a new version of you, what appears around you changes to uniquely match that new version. Can you see, therefore, that no thing else and no one else has the power to create in your reality? Everything in your experience, physical and non-physical, is created from those choices of yours. You are the decider. You are the creator of your story. 3, thou shalt follow your desires and make new choices. Deciding what you want is always a now question, because change is the only constant in your existence. As change occurs, you experience some things wanted and some things not wanted. Focus only on what you want as new desires are born. Do not stifle those desires. Let them run free and follow them. New desires are inevitable, and new choices are your birthright. You always have absolute freedom to make new choices and changes, and you will, in whatever way and on whatever part of the story suits you. And as you make those choices, your worlds and all the things that are in them reform around you. Choose and choose again and create what you want. 4. Thou shalt not beat up on thyself. Love yourself with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. Because when you do this, you're acknowledging who you are. And in that place of acknowledgement, you will find yourself at one with everything and compassionate with everyone. When you choose, for whatever reason, to be down on yourself, you step away from the power that you have and you turn towards that which you do not want. Can you see that there is no whatever reason that makes sense? We say, do not indulge yourself by getting into self-criticism. Give yourself a break. Above all else, be kind and loving to you. 5. Thou shalt practice self-firstness. By all means, love your neighbour as you love yourself. But all of that begins with you. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot give to others what you first do not know and experience as a part of yourself. And once you have all of this within you, without lifting a finger, you will discover that the rest of the world has aligned itself as you would have it be. The greatest gift you can give to the world or to anybody is choosing to believe and to expect that all is well. Without that, nothing works. With that, well, that's all it takes. 6. Thou shalt choose always to feel good. Feelings are not just feelings. Feelings are your emotional guidance system. Feeling good means you're aligned with Source. Feeling good means you're facing in the direction and moving towards everything you want. Nothing is more important than that. Nothing can ever be more important than that. So be very deliberate about feeling good. Choose processes that help you feel good and practice them. Practice them until you feel so good that you refuse to tolerate thoughts that point you in the wrong direction. If you must be picky about anything, be picky, picky, picky about feeling good. After all, this is your life we're talking about here. 7. Thou shalt dream things into existence and know thy dream for what it is. You shall dream and imagine into being all manner of things that are pleasing to you, because this is the purpose of your life on earth and every other life you are also experiencing. So loosen that death grip you have on reality and allow the idea that this is a game and you alone created it and its rules, and you can change those rules at any time. You created your story, the virtual reality you call your world, in order to have joyful experiences. There is nothing and can be nothing more lofty than that. 8. Thou shalt dance joyfully with the others in your dream. Who are those others? They are the fellow consciousnesses you have invited into your story, and they will show up, generally and in particular, with the expectation boundaries you have set. Generally for all others, and in particular for those individuals who are close to you. And within those boundaries, you mix it up. You play games. If there's fun and excitement and joy and laughter, if there's anger and disagreement, all of that shows up within the expectation boundaries you have set. Do you want to change something? Well, you don't have to sit down and say, we have to talk. Change the boundaries. Talking only works if it helps change your expectations. And changing your expectations works whether you talk or not. Create fun interactions. No one can create in your reality except you. 9. Thou shalt remember that all is well, and good and bad are human judgments. There is no good or bad. There are no sinners or saints, because these are human judgments, and you are so much more than that. There is no right or wrong way of doing things. There are no good decisions or bad decisions. There are only good feeling stories and not so good feeling stories. In other words, you're either moving toward what you want or moving away from what you want. That's the only judgment call you need to make. And when you focus on the feel-good parts and give up on the struggling, when you slow and then stop all resistance, you flow downstream with the current into a world of well-being, because that's your equilibrium point. That's your natural state. 10. Thou shalt remember who thou art. Well, we've come full circle here. As we remind you about commandment number 1, thou shalt know who thou art. But we've added the word remember. More than just know it right now, and maybe tomorrow or next week or next year you remember it again. We encourage you to practice knowing it until you have an ongoing, ever-present awareness of it. By which we mean that this awareness has been woven into the fabric of your expectation tapestry. It means your autopilot mind now gets it. And that means you in your conscious thinking mind and you in your subconscious mind become less and less obsessed with the so-called reality of your physical world and more obsessed about something that's really important, creating joy in your life. So, we've had a little fun here with our version of the 10 Commandments. As we said when we started out, there are no you shalls. In this place where you are making the rules, there can, of course, be no commandments. There are no should do's, no must do's, no supposed to do's. And if there are, it's because you made them up. And in each new moment, you're always at choice, and you can make up something new. We say, see this game always within the context of the absolutes. keep an ongoing awareness of who you really are, because it helps you keep all of this in perspective. After all, it's only a game you created, and you created it for the fun of it. So let's have some fun, starting now.
This Hangout on Air was our introduction to our theme for the week. If you're a guest member, you already get invites to our free open calls. If you're on the Hangout or watching the Hangout recording, you can get invites to our extended free open calls with questions and answers by becoming a guest member. See the links on your screen. And if you'd really like to get this down deep and join us for 3 calls a week, live, or have access to all the recordings, you can become a member. See the pop-ups on your screen.